I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Friday, March 20th. Today, menacing mice.
It's everywhere. It is not just one part of the city.
What you can do to prevent your home from becoming a tempting target. Also today, no longer for sale.
We didn't hide the fact it was selling in the building. We didn't hide the fact that it was on the open market and what the cost of it was.
Why Manitoba's PC Party has officially sold its former headquarters and who bought it. Plus, price hikes. We've got the reasons why your Manitoba Hydro bill is going up. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Spring is here, which is breeding season for mice, and your home is an attractive nesting spot. Winnipeg exterminators are already taking calls from homeowners in need of help. Joining me now to talk more about the seasonal nuisance is CTV's Joseph Bernacki. So, Joseph, just how busy are exterminators this early in the season?
Marilee, exterminators are very busy this time of year, especially on a beautiful day like we've had today. One exterminator that we spoke with says it's a number of factors, and usually this time of year, the trend is upwards, especially over the last 3 or 4 that he points out, which you'll see from just a moment.
The last 3 years have been up. The fall of 2025 was terrible, and the spring of 2026 that we're going into, the mice calls are unbelievable.
Really?
Very high.
He says there are a few factors, environmental and societal factors, that have resulted in the uptick.
The winters aren't as cold as we used to, that Mother Nature would put pressure on the mice to destroy them. If we look at building within the city of Winnipeg here over the last 3 years, communities that are now housing complexes were fields. Right? That pushes the mice to go elsewhere. And certainly since the end of COVID, when COVID was around, we noticed a lot of garbage building up, a lot of food sources for the mice. And that allowed them to really overpopulate. And now we're just continuing to see those numbers increasing more and more and more.
Poulin says no area of the city is spared from the rodents. He says he's seen mice in all areas, ranging from communities with gardens to the back lanes of older ones.
Joseph, any tips to protect our properties from these pests moving in?
Yeah, there's a few, Marilee, including not having earth right up against your house. He has numerous sites where the garden beds got overrun and mice moved into crawl spaces. The same with clutter, such as winter furniture wrapped in tarp or wood piles on the property. He also says to check the outside of your home for vulnerable areas, such as areas that may have shifted over the winter and exterior cracking and holes, something that will be easier to do now with the melting snow that we saw today. CTV's John Hendricks has more insight into where else these critters can be crawling coming up at 6.
All right, thanks for this, Joseph. 3 men are charged with drug trafficking tonight after police seized thousands of dollars worth of cocaine and pills from an Archwood area home. The Guns and Gangs unit led an investigation into several suspects living at a home in the 500 block of St. Catherine Street. Following a search of that home, police took a 27-year-old man into custody. 2 other men, a 31-year-old and a 32-year-old, were arrested elsewhere. Police seized about $90,000 worth of cocaine, nearly $2,000 in Percocet pills, more than $19,000 in cash, along with other items. The trio face a number of drug trafficking related charges. None of the allegations have been tested in court. 24 people are back in custody tonight following a police crackdown on outstanding warrants in the north. Members of the Manitoba Integrated Violent Offender Apprehension Unit, which is made up of both RCMP and Winnipeg police officers, were sent to Garden Hill, Wasaga-Mac, Red Sucker Lake and St. Teresa Point First Nation between March 9th and the 14th. It was targeting those considered particularly violent or prolific. The accused range in age from 17 to 44 and include one person with 5 outstanding warrants and another who was allegedly found in possession of a loaded sawed-off shotgun. Manitoba Hydro is implementing a series of rate hikes over the next 3 years. The Public Utilities Board approved a 4% rate hike this year and a 3.5% rate hike the following year. Further to that, there's a 3% hike planned for 2028. The Crown Corporation asked to raise rates over financial pressure it's facing due to drought conditions. Last year, Hydro projected a loss of $409 million as water flows approach the second lowest level in 112 years. The Public Interest Law Centre, which represents a coalition of Manitoba consumer groups, says its clients understand the challenges drought poses, but it had hoped the Crown utility would have made a stronger effort to manage its finances.
Our clients had recommended lower rate increases, more in the range of 2.25% for each of the 3 years. They were relying on independent expert evidence that from experts that they retained, indicating that Manitoba Hydro had the ability to look internally both at their operating costs and the amount that they spend to maintain their infrastructure. There were better ways, based on the expert evidence they relied on, to prioritize and pace that spending.
The PUB also raised concerns about energy poverty in the province due to the rate increases and is recommending the government develop a strategy to address the issue. It also recommends a refundable tax credit for low-income ratepayers to help alleviate some of the burden. Manitoba's PC Party has sold the building which used to house its headquarters to a former candidate.
This is a real estate purchase. So the person who bought it is secondary to that. It was on the open market for 2 to 3 months. Anybody could have purchased it if they had concerns over it.
The 3,600 square foot historic home is located across the street from the legislature. It was listed for $800,000 and purchased by Wally Doddridge for $600,000 in February. The NDP filed a complaint with the Provincial Elections Commissioner alleging the Tories were violating a ban on corporate donations by using proceeds from the sale of the house, which is held in a trust to pay off party debt.
Along this process, we've been very open and transparent, which maybe this government should try doing. We didn't hide the fact we're selling the building. We didn't hide the fact that it was on the open market and what the cost of it was. And that we are working openly with Elections Manitoba on this bogus claim that the NDP had put forward.
As for the plans for the house, Doddridge owns a polar bear tour company in Churchill and says he's going to restore the home and use it to host clients. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. The weekend is here, Colleen. What is in forecast for our weekend?
Well, first of all, as you mentioned off the top of the show, spring has sprung, folks. It arrived mid-morning, so that's snow paving the way to green grass. We're not quite at green grass yet, but in case you're curious, spring did officially start at 9:46 a.m. with the arrival of the vernal equinox, but nothing says springtime in southern Manitoba like an Alberta clipper and some snow. Yeah, some of that is heading our way in the next few hours, but it's not just snow, other forms of precipitation too. I'll show you what's coming, how long it's going to last, and if these temperatures will stay mild as well. All that to come. But for now, let's take a look through the CTV Live Eyes brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution in Winnipeg right now. It is 4 degrees, mostly cloudy, light winds out of the west-northwest at 8 kilometers an hour. The pressure's dropping and the humidity is 79%. Out in traffic on this Friday afternoon, heading into the first spring weekend. It is sunny, actually, looking down onto the Norwood Bridge. One traffic note, Notre Dame at Erin, the stall is blocking the westbound median lane. Keep to your right to pass that one.
Lending a helping hand, the program offering Canadian farmers some financial certainty. Those details after the break.
Sales totaled $70.7 billion in January, with increases in 6 of 9 subsectors. Vehicles and parts led sales in January, up by 2% month over month. Sales of building materials were also up, and more jewelry, luggage, and leather were sold. Those items get lumped together. Sales were up across all provinces, with Alberta making the biggest gain. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 72.92. West Texas Intermediate ended the day at 98.23. Western Canadian Select is up over $1 to 80.31. And the TSX lost another 537 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
A program meant to offer Canadian farmers some financial certainty amid the Canada-U.S. trade dispute is expanding in light of the widening conflict in the Middle East. Farm Credit Canada is expanding its trade disruption customer support program to help agribusinesses, farmers and food processors affected by rising fertilizer costs and energy prices. The Those who meet the lending criteria are eligible for an additional line of credit up to $500,000, along with new term loans and deferred payments on existing loans. Attacks to energy infrastructure and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz to most cargo ships has sparked a dramatic increase in fuel and fertilizer prices. Finance Minister Adrian Saleh is getting ready for Budget Day with a bit of a twist on an annual tradition.
Hey guys, I've got some shoes for you. How's everybody doing?
Instead of getting himself a new pair of shoes, Adrian Saleh brought some new runners to children at Linwood Child Care Center. He announced a 2.9% increase in early childhood educator wages to start this September, as well as 2,000 new child care spaces. Both will be included in the upcoming budget.
This upcoming budget this Tuesday is going to be focused on affordability and strengthening services like healthcare and childcare for families in Manitoba. We're really excited about that.
Saleh also says the budget will include investments to make food more affordable, keep energy costs down, and reduce the pressures around education. Budget 2026 will be tabled on Tuesday. There's an oven recall in Canada to tell you about tonight, and it comes with a warning to immediately stop using it if you have one. The recall is for these specific Frigidaire gas ranges, and it's all because of an increased burn risk. At least one person has been hurt here in Canada, while 30 people in the U.S. have reported injuries. The company says the affected gas ranges can experience a delayed ignition of the oven's bake burner. More than 5,000 of these products have been sold in Canada and almost 175,000 sold in the U.S. Frigidaire says owners of the affected oven should contact Electrolux Group to get a new bake burner installed for free.
Elle? I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
I go here.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's fun?
Legally adorable. Why Rainbow Stage is putting out a casting call for four-legged friends.
Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Brad Williams, the Tall Tales Tour.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and we begin today with some sad news from the entertainment world.
Yeah, very surprising. Actor and martial artist Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. The cultural icon was known for his many independent action and martial arts films. He also starred in the long-running TV series Walker, Texas Ranger. Earlier this week, Norris suffered an undisclosed medical emergency while in Hawaii. A statement from his family says he died while surrounded by loved ones.
The WSO is on a mission with its latest performance at its Night at the Movies concert series.
You could certainly say that, Marilee. The WSO will provide the live score for Casino Royale tonight and Saturday.
Get the gun out.
This is the first installment in the James Bond concert series. The music was designed to mirror 007's evolution from what the composer says was an almost thuggish character to a secret agent and ultimately the legendary M6 operative.
It's a pretty thrilling movie, and the score is super exciting, especially the action sequences and the chase scenes. The way that the music for the orchestra to play is scored underneath those scenes it's very brilliant, virtuosic playing.
Now, at last check, a very limited number of tickets were still available for both shows.
Well, if you've got an elegant pop who loves the spotlight, this might just be their moment.
Finally, Rainbow Stage will be hosting Pawditions for their upcoming production of Legally Blonde, the musical.
Elle? I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
I go here.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
Casting directors are looking for well-trained Chihuahuas and French Bulldogs to take on the iconic canine roles of Bruiser and Rufus. Dogs should be comfortable around people and music. The deadline to submit is April 6th. Now, the auditions will be held at Rainbow Stage's office on April 19th. To sign up, head on over to the theater's website.
I can't wait to see this production once it's ready to be viewed.
It sounds fabulous.
It's a good one, yeah. Well, no rose is going to be handed out this spring. It's everywhere, and it's very sad, I think. Yes, it's just awful.
It really is. And if you don't already know what we're talking about, The Bachelorette with Taylor Frankie Paul has been canceled just days before it was set to air. A spokesperson for ABC said the season, which has already been filmed and was scheduled to begin on Sunday, will not be aired. The decision comes after video surfaced appearing to show a domestic dispute from 2023, which resulted in Paul being arrested. In it, she can be seen throwing chairs at her ex in front of her daughter. The network says at this time, their focus is on supporting the family.
Now to a gardening show, not like the others.
No, and it does not take place between two ferns.
What's your favorite fruit?
Kale.
Kale's not a fruit. Can you look at me and go, that's fascinating?
That's fascinating.
Zach Galifianakis is hosting a new series called This is a Gardening Show. It blends lighthearted humor with curiosity. The new series begins streaming April 22nd.
All right. As I mentioned earlier, when you were talking about the forecast, the weekend is here. And if you don't have plans, Colleen has you covered.
Yeah, no excuses, folks. Plenty to do this weekend. Here's a look at just some of the events taking place across Manitoba this weekend. Get ready for the summer at Cottage Country's Lake and Cabin Show. The 48th annual World of Wheels rolls back into RBC Convention Center. It might be spring, but Lundar is hosting its Winter Carnival. The Westman Gaming Expo is on in Brandon. Meow Mania celebrates our feline friends. Yay!
When are we going to this?
I have a friend who's been in the show and will be back with her very special cat. It's a lot of fun to check out. And the Professional Women's Hockey League Takeover Tour skates into Canada Life Centre with a game between the Montreal Victoire and the Ottawa Charge. You can find a full list of events this weekend on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
Well, I'm Googling Meow Mania in the commercial break.
Dude, it's a great event.
I got plans now for the weekend. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Your Friday night primetime lineup starts at 7 with Celebrity Jeopardy. Following at 8 is Happy's Place and Children Ruin Everything. And catch Boston Blue at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
CTV Primetime Lineup, brought to you by the Parkway Retirement Community. Welcome home.
Well, spring has sprung and the sun is trying to shine through those clouds. It is 4 degrees in Winnipeg with light winds. I'll show you your full weekend forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
Well, it's a sure sign of spring from Washington, D.C. to Tokyo, Japan. Check out these beautiful cherry blossom spotters. The Japanese government announced blooming has officially begun, marking the start of the season 5 days earlier than usual, actually. Meanwhile, over in D.C., more than 1 million people are expected to gather to witness the stunning cherry blossom peak bloom. By the way, is expected to begin March 29th.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Yeah, I mentioned spring has sprung, and I also mentioned that southern Manitoba's springtime can come with snow, and it looks like it will, courtesy of Alberta. An Alberta Clipper will be forming. It already has, really, and the precipitation is already well on its way. And like clippers often do, this one is going to move exceptionally quickly. But it's also triggered a snowfall warning on this first day of spring. That's right. I'll show you where in just a moment. But here's a look at the precipitation that's headed our way. It's not just snow, but you can see it's passed through places like Saskatoon. Further south, the precipitation is rain, and it's moved through Regina. And yeah, all of that and more heading towards us here in southern Manitoba in the next few hours. Environment and Climate Change Canada has issued a yellow warning for snowfall for parts of the southwest part of the province, including Dauphin and Swan River. In higher elevations, some areas could see 15 to 20 centimeters of spring snow over the next few hours into Saturday before this moves on out. Take a look at these temperatures well up above freezing. It's 4 here in Winnipeg, back over in Ontario, 6 in Kenora, but I want to draw your attention to Melita. Double digits 11 degrees there, but what a difference between Brandon. Brandon, nothing to sneeze at, 4 degrees, lovely. 11 in Melita. Contrast that with Churchill, where it's just minus 21 degrees right now. Milder temperatures throughout the rest of the north, minus single digits. Lynn Lake, pretty far north there, minus 5 degrees. So that just gives you a sense of where that cold pocket of air is, right over the Churchill area. And a good reason for that is a low pressure system that has been spreading snow across the north today, a few centimeters, and now the focus of it is going to be in the northeast, but it's been falling there already, but more on the way. Meanwhile, more of something else on the way too, not just snow, but we have also, you see in purple, that's the snow, that thin line, that pink, that's a little bit of freezing rain. A little further south where it turns to green, outright rain showers. And it looks like we will see the rain showers here in Winnipeg and the Red River Valley rolling in late tonight, maybe even a little bit of freezing rain. Temperatures should, though, stay just above freezing, but if they do drop just a couple of degrees, it could get a little slippery out there. Now, this should start to taper off as we get into Saturday afternoon, pretty early in the afternoon. In fact, meanwhile, much of northern Manitoba will enjoy sunshine for Saturday for your first full day of spring. Into Sunday, we go clearer conditions, still a little bit of unsettled weather. There's a ridge of high pressure out to the west, and we've had these impulses just riding along over the last few days, and that will continue through the weekend, bringing us intermittent precipitation. 1 degree our overnight low with rain showers late tonight on this first night of spring. 2 our highest temperature tomorrow with a good chance of showers or flurries in the morning. Some very strong northeast winds as that system moves on out of here. It's possible the temperature might even slip below freezing in the afternoon, and which means it could get slippery. Mild temperatures for the first half of the week. It gets a little cooler by Tuesday, and as you can see, there will be plenty of sunshine along the way, but maybe a few flurries next week too. Our first weather photo takes us up to beautiful Winnipeg Beach. That photo is from Jody, and speaking of beautiful, check out this bohemian waxwing, just gorgeous. That's out at Narrow. That's not too far from Winnipeg. That photo is from Monica. Send us yours by email to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Well, sometimes you just have to blend in. Case in point, check this out. This possum somehow made its way inside the Australian airport and was hoping to just hide out, I think. It was spotted, though, sitting amongst a bunch of stuffed animals in a gift shop. An airport employee said he seemed to be quite comfortable hanging out with what we can assume he thought were friends of his. Yes. The possum later left the shop and walked around the terminal for a bit. No word yet on what his final destination was. Maybe he was going to grab a bite to eat, or maybe he took a flight somewhere. I don't know.
Well, he had big plans, I guess. I'm sure he thought he made a lot of friends there all of a sudden.
If you went to go grab a stuffed animal and you...
Yeah.
All right, we're back at 6 with more news. Hope you'll join us then.